Debt is not something to be feared. I passionately believe, I'm a real advocate for it if you know how to manage it and to use it for things that will generate a profit effectively. And I think the problem with debt, and debt on a country level, is that it's very tempting to get into infrastructure projects because then people can see physically what you've done. But that just confines the revenue component, or more simply, a toll charge from building a new road. That's it. You can't get anything more. And I think the bit that governments and their leaders have to understand and appreciate, yes, that's necessary. But if you take debt and invest it into people and technology and industries that can generate money almost immediately, in other words, can bring in inward investment, things like tourism, then you're going to get a return which allows you to then longer term, or medium to long term, spend on those critical infrastructure projects. You have this significant problem where you can address it. There's no point being scared of the elephant in the room or trying to hide the elephant in the room. You've got to address it. The core fundamentals are, a country's unable to sustain its overall portfolio of debt, they're having to raise taxes on an objective manner. Then you know that the overall signs are not there, as in signs for growth. Although Sri Lanka's forecasting 5.5, 5.6 GDP for next year, the government has asked for a quasi-bailout from the IMF and just been given $1.5 billion. It has a national airline that owes $3.5 billion. If you like to think of Sri Lankan Airlines as an expensive spouse, it got out of control. You can address it. There's no point being scared of the elephant in the room or trying to hide the elephant in the room. You've got to address it. Managing your household budget is just the same as what a finance minister has to do. You have to have a very ambitious goal. And I think the accolade that Sri Lanka should aim for as a country is a Nobel Prize in Economics. So I would compare that to us winning the 1996 World Cup. We won that with a bowler by the name of Pramod Wickramasinghe, who in today's cricketing terms nobody would fear at all, and they didn't really fear him then. But the point was we redefined the game, and I would argue it was the way that Sanat Jayasuriya and Kalawitara went out to open in the first 15 to 20 overs, that actually gave birth to 2020. And frankly, we lost a golden opportunity that India picked up and developed into this thing called the IPL. You need to create a movement among the people to understand what this is all about. I've been very fortunate being selected to give a TEDx talk in Colombo for an economic identity that capitalizes on the things that you've got going for yourself. We can't really compete with India. If you take the wider Americas and start promoting Sri Lanka in a highly targeted way with a strategic advertising campaign, you've got 953 million people there to put together this package. It's time for Sri Lanka to be able to say at the G9 summit, we did something that others have not done. All of this needs that human tipping point. It needs a cause, it needs the will of the people, it needs the will of those who are elected to put their mast, or to put their flag to a mast that says, yeah, I really want to do this. We're doing this charity auction, exclusive one-off VVIP travel experience, working with a company called Greaves Travel and Charity Buzz in the US, to put together this package. That's the piece in the jigsaw which is, it's hard to explain to people who don't understand technology, and at the same time who have not seen, there's always that phrase, people are afraid of something different. And for the president, it is a tool on the international stage to say, look, I understand the global economy. I have been careful, I have been cautious, and I've been waiting for that moment to give the country the tipping point it deserves.